In the meantime, over in Kenya, we have the Vision 2030 economic blueprint proposing the application of science, technology and innovation to raise productivity and efficiency levels across the board as Kenya embarks on the road towards achieving a middle-income country status. Ndiritu Muriithi, Assistant Minister of Industrialisation, joins us now to put the plan in the spotlight. Thanks so much for joining us this afternoon, Ndiritu. How on track is Kenya to achieving the country's developmental goals? Because while Kenya's Vision 2030 is a long-term venture that's been set out over the next couple of decades, a 5-year medium-term agenda has been laid out to tackle things bit by bit.
Well, absolutely. And I think this is common in planning to look at a 5-year cycle. And I would say we are we're well on track to realize Vision 2030. There are obvious challenges that we've gone through, perhaps going back 2 years ago, but we are firmly on track. If you look at growth forecast, for example, this year, we expect about 4.5% growth in this calendar year, going to 5.7% expected growth next calendar year. So I would say we are back on track. And things are moving forward.
There are some challenges that you face, though, and I was reading a commentary that it includes insecurity, a lack of cohesiveness, democracy and the rule of law. Just how much of a stumbling block does that pose at the moment?
Well, you know, for example, take the question of the rule of law and the question of democracy. As you know, we are just gearing up to go to a referendum to replace the Kenyan constitution, which will be a major milestone in terms of an overall reform agenda to improve you know, freedoms, to improve respect for fundamental rights, and so on. So we are well, you know, well placed. And if you look, in fact, at the last 2 years, a lot of legislative work that went into creating reform. You point to the question of cohesiveness, and we have, in fact, a process, a national cohesion process, complete with the backing of law as well as a commission to move us along. So if you look at the question of security, sorry, go ahead.
Just to interrupt there, I mean, achieving middle-income status then, from what you're saying, not in far reach, but there is some debate out there when it comes to the actual focus of this agenda. Some are saying that it focuses too intently on high-spending projects that would not necessarily improve the lives of the masses, while others say this is a global village and the country has to remain competitive, so we need to focus on more than just the village level to create an impact. Is there enough of a balance that's being struck here, in your opinion?
I would say so. And it is not just an issue at the village level. Take, for example, our plan on economic zones. And just now, we are well advanced in planning a special economic zone from Mombasa and for about 100 kilometers inward, creating a platform for business to operate very competitively from this area. Similarly for the city of Kisumu and also for Lamu. And as you know, we are just about to begin work on putting a new port in Lamu. If you look closer to Nairobi, just outside of Nairobi here in Athi River, a huge ICT park as the basis of a special economic zone. So these facilities create platforms for improved competitiveness for companies that are operating out of Kenya. Further in inland, if you look at the programs, for example, that my ministry is running to support small business, to ensure that they have not only a reasonable operating environment to improve their ability to access credit, to improve their ability to access markets. You will know, for example, that in just under 2 months, the common market in East Africa will be operational. We were already a customs union, meaning that businesses operating from Kenya have access to a market in the neighborhood of 120 million people.